The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
Montana, a sprawling outdoorsman's Eden with ice-covered peaks and unspoiled wilderness. Patrolling and protecting these natural resources is a first-class band of peace officers. These are the Wardens, dedicated to the preservation of the last best place. This week on Wardens.
It's not posted, and we've had poaching in this drainage and yours. We don't want any cameras in because we might end up into a shouting match before it's all over. But
the landowner said they'd heard a lot of shooting at night, and sure enough, it was a bull elk, and the head had been cut off.
Hey, I've got a warrant for your arrest. What I need you to do, I want you to unzip your jacket, open it up for me. Okay, do you have any weapons on you?
The general hunting season is quickly coming to an end in Montana. It's in these waning hours that sometimes hunters get desperate and cross the line. Region 2 wardens are watching a hunter that appears to have game down on a piece of private land that has limited access for public hunting.
he knows who owns this.
And pants. He said he's...
FG22, FG21. All right. Well, it's not posted, and we've had poaching in this drainage and yours. And this guy, I don't know. I think we're just going to walk over and check him. See, what makes me think there's something wrong is he's got something down, and he made a phone call, and he's waiting for somebody to come help him or whatever.
Well, he's back up there. Now he's coming down the hill.
Is he?
I do not see a gun.
Well, the fact that the guy that owns his land is suspended from hunting is another good probable cause thing, isn't it?
I do not see a gun, never have.
Yeah.
Unless he shot it from the vehicle.
From the vehicle, yeah. I'm gonna walk over there.
The wardens on scene are concerned for several reasons that the entire situation may not be above board. Following their instincts, they make the half-mile walk to talk to the hunter. It's a warden's intuition and experience that often makes the difference in solving complex investigations, like the case Region 5 Warden Lee Burroughs encountered in 2012.
Well, this is a great case that really kind of shows teamwork, perseverance, and technology in solving a wildlife investigation.
Let's see if...
How this Asparagus Point elk case first came about was opening day of archery season. I got a telephone call that evening, and the landowner said they'd heard a lot of shooting at night. I went down to Asparagus Point, had a deputy from Musselshell County assisted me, and we got there about midnight, and all that we found were a couple vehicles. There was nobody around, but it was obvious somebody had been camping there. Went back to the sheriff's office and ran the plate for the registered owner, and it didn't come back to the pickup that it was on, so we, immediately assumed that, somebody had switched plates for whatever reason. A couple weeks later, the landowner, who's right there adjacent to Asparagus Point, called, and I went down there right away. And,
Hey, Lee Burroughs, game warden.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good.
Say I was doing a little hiking up the river here.
Uh-huh.
I happened upon a bull elk here stashed in these Russian olives.
All right, well, there we have it.
Yep.
And sure enough, it was a bull elk, and the head had been cut off.
In 2012, Region 5 Warden Lee Burroughs received a call reporting suspicious gunfire at night. A few days later, a decapitated elk head was found hidden in a creek bottom. The cold trail of evidence is now several days old.
I went down there and with the BLM law enforcement officer, and we found that head. And I came back to Billings. I just left it there, you know, didn't want to disturb it. I figured that, you know, somebody obviously went to the trouble to cut a head off elk and, you know, drag it 600 yards downstream and hide it. They were probably going to come back for it. So I visited with Captain Guzzi, and we decided that probably what would work best in that situation was to put a transmitter in the head and then also try and put a camera on the elk.
It started out with just an abandoned elk head and actually with a poached elk. Through some information from hikers, information from landowners, a lot of legwork from the game warden. We got a chance to use some fairly modern technology was involved in it.
Put it back like it was so they won't suspect anything.
And ultimately made the case, and it involved quite a few people.
Back in Region 2, wardens spot a hunter on private land that apparently has game down in a limited access area. After witnessing suspicious actions by the hunter, the wardens decide to investigate by getting a closer look.
We're gonna go in. This guy that owns this place is suspended for poaching. So we don't want any cameras in because we might end up into a shouting match before it's all over, but we're gonna run over real quick. Okay, I'm Jeff.
Jeff, Toby.
Toby, glad to meet you.
I figured Doug was one of you.
Well, he's down further.
You guys been hunting or?
No.
Hell of a bull you got.
Yeah, it's a big one. Actually, whose land is this? Oh, okay.
And then
Okay.
going over just.
All right. Well, we just saw you up there and wonder what's going on there.
Well, he fell.
Oh, there's the sheep right there.
Yeah, the other one.
And we can see you on the cell phone and pulling out your tag and all that. So anyway, we're just checking Hunter.
Okay.
We're just checking you.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're welcome to hike up there if you want.
Yeah, we'll look at him. How would you?
I gut shot him. He was bedded on the first shot, and so.
Well, how would you feel about this, Toby, if we come up and help you get it and drag it down?
That's fine.
Helping the hunter retrieve the animal assists the hunter and allows the wardens a better read on the situation. Unfortunately, in 2012, wardens were piecing together a cold case with little evidence and were forced to rely on advanced technology in order to develop a lead.
You know, just kept monitoring that head. That transmitter has got a unique radio frequency signal that you can hear, and so I was able to, you know, just from Highway 12, with the antenna and earphones, was able to see if that elk head was still there. And all through the big game hunting season and on into the next spring, you know, I continued to monitor that, and every few days I'd go by and see if it was there. And early in March, I went by there one day and couldn't get a reading. Shoot, I think it's gone. I walked down where I knew the elk head was and confirmed that it wasn't there, so. Well, shoot, someone found that camera and turned it around. That gummit. Well, I guess we'll see if we got any usable footage.
In 2012, Region 5 wardens started an investigation that would last over 6 months. They set up cameras and inserted a radio transmitter into a trophy bull elk head that had been illegally shot and then stashed. Unfortunately, the poacher wisely avoided the camera when he returned for the elk rack. Wardens have one last hope of finding the suspect. They have to relocate the transmitter before it's discovered and removed from the head.
So we picked up our gear and then a list of suspects and where they live. So I drove around the Billings area with that transceiver, you know, trying to find the signal from the ground by several different residences and couldn't find anything. So at that point, got a hold of the Fish, Wildlife, and Parks pilot here in Billings. They've got a Super Cub that's equipped for radio transmitters and transceivers, and so we hooked an antenna up to the belly of the airplane.
We're good to go. 159.180.
And then took off from Billings, and we just started flying in grid pattern. Pretty quick, we're over the town of Shepherd, and we're starting to pick up this signal, so we just keep, you know, making a smaller circle, and pretty quick, we're right over the town of Shepherd itself. So that elk head with that transmitter, we're in the Shepherd area. So came back to Billings, landed, and Captain Guzzi and I jumped in an unmarked vehicle and went out there with handheld transceiver.
400 miles west, near the town of Hamilton, Region 2 wardens approach a hunter in a restricted area. After first contact, they realize the situation is not at all what it appears to be.
Well, it's hunting season, and we were coming down the highway and looked over and saw a vehicle and looked up on the ridge and saw Hunter's orange and put the glasses on him, and I don't know, he didn't know what he was doing, but he eventually drug out some paperwork. Looked like he was tagging something. Couldn't see the animal from here. Turned out to be everything all right. He killed a sheep, had a sheep license, did it right. Sad thing is I don't know if you could see the other sheep on the hill, but there's some other sheep up there, and they're all coughing. They have pneumonia. They're gonna die, most of them. That ram, he's been watching for about a week, and he finally harvested it, but it was coughing too when he shot it, so he probably saved it a long, agonizing death by deciding to harvest it. So you got a nice ram.
It's like winning the lottery.
Yeah. I've been putting this since 95, probably got it.
Well, yeah, I came up and looked for him this morning. I drove all the way back in onto the ranch, and to be honest, the roads are getting a little dicey, and came back down here, and it was snowing so hard. I back out on the highway looking for him, and then finally found him, and came in here and, you know, tried to find a spot where I could get out and, you know, hike up a little bit without him seeing me, and got down there, and you know, there he was with another smaller ram and a few other ewes, and yeah. Unfortunately, the final shot was right above the cliff there, and he went 40 foot down. But
securing a bighorn ram sheep tag is a rare trophy hunting opportunity in most states. Huntable populations in western North America have been impacted due to many herds contracting pneumonia. Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks biologists work hard at limiting pneumonia's effects on Montana herds. The result is opportunities like this to hunt world-class bighorn sheep in Montana.
And like I said, he'd been healthy for the last 5 days. I've seen him every day, and then today he started coughing for the first time. So I figured he was the ram I wanted, and better do it now.
Done good, buddy.
Yep.
Drawing a bighorn ram tag is nearly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and this hunter took full advantage of it. He scouted, secured landowner permission, and tagged the animal upon harvest. Best of all, the wardens were present and able to help in the recovery of his trophy.
Congratulations. Thanks for letting us.
Well, thank you guys very much.
Back in Region 5 near Billings, wardens have a lead on where a poached elk may have been taken, but apprehending the suspect might be dangerous.
The signal was coming from a specific residence in Shepherd, so we went to district court and obtained a search warrant to retrieve the transmitter.
Montana Game Wardens, it's a search warrant. Game Wardens.
We executed that warrant at that residence in Shepherd, and sure enough, we found this elk head, and as we knew, it had the transmitter in it. We also found some other evidence that helped us with our investigation. The individual whose residence we executed the search warrant at told us who shot that elk. We then obtained an arrest warrant for him.
Hey, I've got a warrant for your arrest. What I need you to do, I want you to unzip your jacket, open it up for me. Okay, do you have any weapons on you?
Region 5 wardens are serving the arrest warrant on a 6-month investigation of a poached trophy bull elk. Using a transmitter, they located the suspect near the town of Shepherd, just northeast of Billings. Confronting a poacher is sometimes dangerous, since they're likely to have guns close by. Warden Lee Burroughs approaches the suspect with proper officer caution.
Got a warrant for your arrest. What I need you to do, I want you to unzip your jacket, open it up for me. Okay, do you have any weapons on you?
No, sir.
Okay, I want you to turn around. And I'd like you to kneel down, Marty, please. And I want you to cross your feet. I want you to put your right foot over your ankle. There you go. Put your hands behind your back with the thumbs up. Thumbs up, okay. Lean over, look away from the sound of my voice.
Took him to Yellowstone County Jail, and this individual never did admit to shooting this elk. By that point, we developed, a list of 5 individuals, and through interviews with those individuals, they, told us that this individual was there, that he'd shot the elk, that he had been hunting.
Okay, where do you want him for now, Woodrow?
Okay, is he staying with us?
He will be for several days.
For several days?
Yeah.
Okay, you got papers for him so we know what we're doing?
Yep, I do. I've got that arrest warrant. You wanted to put him in the holding cell here?
Yeah.
Through interviews, statements, witness statements, that we were able to charge this individual with a felony. Eventually, this individual was charged with 13 counts of wildlife violations, including, hunt without a license and drive off established road, hunt without landowner permission, but there were just numerous violations. The individual who we charged with shooting that elk at Asparagus Point was unemployed, on disability, and did not have a lot of money, didn't have a lot of resources. He had a public defender, and this public defender was very good at working the judicial system, and we had several motions to suppress evidence, and we weathered all of those, and in the end we accepted a guilty plea on this guy's part. That was satisfying, very satisfying.
Solving a case like this took dedication by the whole Region 5 enforcement team, a sacrifice wardens are willing to pay to stop the theft of Montana's wildlife.
Through this whole case, there were 7 individuals charged with 27 counts of wildlife crimes, all the way from fishing without a valid license, driving off of established roads, to unlawful possession and hunting without a valid license. So, it was a great case that just showcased the fact that, with technology, persistence, perseverance, and teamwork, you can solve these crimes. Montana game wardens are resourceful when it comes to investigating cases of game theft.
With the help of concerned citizens, advancements in technology, and dogged persistence, their conviction rate is exceptional. But they can't always do it on their own. If you have information pertaining to a wildlife crime committed in Montana, please contact your local warden. It sometimes takes just a small piece of evidence to turn the tables and help solve a case that protects our cherished wild resources.